today I'm here with my current foundation routine, and if you're not familiar with my skin, it is oily, it is acne prone, and most recently it is textured. I've had a lot of breakouts lately, a lot more texture on my skin. It has calmed down a little bit, but this is what I've been doing that is a little bit different than the norm for me, because normally I'm looking to find something that is long lasting, something that's not heavy or cakey but has decent coverage. But in addition to that, recently I've been trying to create a routine that is very smooth on the skin, or at least something that doesn't enhance the existing texture. So I'm really excited that this video is in partnership with and sponsored by EOS. In addition to showing you my current foundation routine, I'm going to be highlighting their brand new EOS Crystal Lip Balm. So let's go ahead and get started. So hydrating my lips and keeping them smooth is a really important part of my skincare routine, but it's also completely a part of my makeup routine. Every time I sit down here to film, even when I'm barefaced like I am today, I always have a lip balm on, and to do the intro of this video without a lip balm felt like I was missing something. But as I mentioned, EOS has launched their Crystal Lip Balm, and this is the first ever wax-free crystal clear lip balm. It's also vegan. It's got tons of great ingredients in there to actually hydrate your lips, so things like shea, avocado, coconut, and aloe. But what I really like about this, besides the fact that it's like crystal clear, comes in the cool round shape that you expect from EOS, it looks just incredible to the point where you almost don't want to use it. But anyways, it actually is really lightweight on the lip, so it's something that I can put on overnight to hydrate. It's a great purse item to throw in your bag and just put on throughout the day. But because it is so lightweight and kind of smoothing on the lips, it also acts as a great base for a liquid lipstick. So if you want to put it on in the beginning of your makeup routine and then you want to end with a liquid lipstick, it does act as kind of a really nice base on the lips as well. So it comes in two different scents. There is a vanilla orchid along with hibiscus peach. I'm going to be using this one to hydrate my lips before I hop into any face makeup today. I'm a sucker for anything peach, but the vanilla one is great too. So let's go ahead. Heard to talk and do this. Let's go ahead and get into the makeup. So I brought you in a little bit closer. I am going to start by priming. As you know, I've been trying to get into the primer game lately, so I'm using this super cool one from Origins. It's the Pore Perfecting Cooling Primer, and it's like freezing cold when you put it on your hands and on your skin, but it is really nice. What I like about it is it does feel, first of all, really nice, but I really do feel like it's kind of nourishing to the point, but not to the point where it's over hydrating my skin or making me greasy, and it's also just really smoothing. So I've really been enjoying this one. Onto my foundation. This should come as no surprise to anybody, but I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation, which I've been using this for months, really enjoying it. And I did do a dedicated review on it if you're curious, but this one really surprised me for oily skin. I thought it would be too like greasy on my face, but it's not at all. It's just the perfect amount. I talk about it at length in a million videos, so I won't get into it too much. But I'm not really doing any spot concealing. I'm not looking to like cover up a bunch of my acne or anything like that, or the scarring. Just kind of looking to even out my skin, and I still want my freckles to show through as well. So I literally, like, I put that much foundation on my nose. I barely put any on my forehead either. And I kind of just stamp it into my skin. I'm using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and I barely put any on my forehead or my nose because, as I mentioned, I do want my freckles to show, and I don't really have any problem areas there. So if you do have issues with breakouts on your chin, on your cheeks, or whatever, that doesn't mean you need to load up your entire face if you are trying to cover things. It doesn't mean you need to load up your entire face with a full coverage foundation. You can spot conceal or kind of go heavier in the areas that you need it. Like, I'm going to build it up on my cheeks a little bit, but on my forehead and my nose, I barely put anything. And overall, that'll make your foundation look much more natural and less of a mask. But you just need to make sure in a case like that that you are using a foundation that's a pretty good match for your skin if you're not putting it all over your face necessarily. So similar to what I do with my concealers, I go back in and place it on my cheeks in my problem area and don't blend it out right away. I find that that just adds a little bit of more coverage. And I know some people aren't huge on this doe foot applicator. You can put it out on your hand or something first. So I just did a quick fill in of my brows. It does not take me long to do my brows, and I do like to do them after my foundation. I haven't set them yet though. I don't like to do that until after I bronze, but I'm just gonna go ahead and now kind of pat that extra little bit of foundation into my skin. I wouldn't advise this method with something that dries really quickly because you won't be able to manipulate it after the fact, but this foundation doesn't set immediately, so if you want to like do something super quickly and just let it set on your face, Then you can kind of build up coverage a little bit. But as you can see, it's super light around my nose, super light on my forehead, and then just a little bit heavier on my cheeks. This still is about a medium coverage foundation, so I'm not looking for full coverage, but that way the overall whole look looks a little bit lighter. And again, like on my upper lip, that area can look super cakey sometimes, so I keep it really light. On to concealer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I've really been enjoying both of the Urban Decay concealers. I've talked about them in recent videos, but the Naked Skin I find gives me quite good coverage, but it's a little bit of a creamier formula, and it kind of just works better with this kind of foundation, because if I put on the other one, the All Nighter, that one is just like really matte and super hardcore, and it kind of wouldn't mesh properly with this foundation. So that's something to consider when pairing a concealer and a foundation together. If you put something dewy with something really matte, it's also going to wear down on your face differently. So like there's been times where I've worn the All Nighter or Shape Tape with like a much lighter coverage foundation, and at the end of the day I'm like still concealed under the eyes and nothing remains on the rest of my face. So that's just something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna let the concealer set under my eyes a little bit, but I am gonna blend out my chin here. I'm just using a Sephora foundation brush. This is the Airbrush 56. And just kind of stamping it into my skin. And again, like I mentioned with the face, I feel like if you leave the concealer to set under your eyes for longer, it's gonna give you more coverage. Sometimes I see, I don't know if like they're just cutting out bits and stuff, but on YouTube I see people put on concealer, blend it out with a beauty blender, and they still have so much coverage under their eyes. And if I do that with almost anything, it just disappears. So I really find letting it set under my eyes for like a minute or two just makes a world of difference. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it's now had a little time to set. I'm going in with my finger. Called me old school, but that is my preferred method, and I like to just kind of pat it out. I find like I'm really picky with my concealers, but this method overall makes me enjoy concealers better. So if you are having issues like I was with getting concealer to kind of keep the coverage, try different things, because what works for someone else may not work for you, etc, etc. With my Real Technique setting brush, I'm going to blend around the edges to kind of morph my concealer into my foundation, because I do like to go a little bit lighter under the eyes. If you do have issues with a lot of dark circles, I also recommend doing a little color correcting. I don't color correct on the daily necessarily. It kind of depends on what the look I'm going for, but this is just a much lighter look. I'm not looking to like cover up all my imperfections. I just kind of want to look like, ooh, like your skin looks great, and I can say thanks. I just came so close to forgetting this. This is the problem with cream products. Always forget. But I'm going to be using the Ultra HD Soft Light from Makeup Forever. I've been talking about this recently, and I had a lot of questions about highlighters for textured skin. This is it, baby. This is a great one. Even if you're not into super into cream products, which I've gotten more into them over the past year, this is so beautiful. Like, it just gives you beautiful skin. I wrote up, oh God, don't do this though. Don't do that. Oh no. Wow, I got way too much out. I wrote a blog post recently, and I described the look that this gives you as like, you drink a lot of water and get monthly facials. That's kind of how I describe this, and I got it in my hair. Things are going awry. But yeah, this is beautiful. It comes in a few different shades. When you swatch it, like when I swatched this at first, I was kind of like, I don't get it. I don't like it. But then when I put it on my face, I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. I'm gonna just pat it out like I did the concealer with the Sephora brush. And I find you can use this on its own if you don't want to use a powder over it. You can also use it on no makeup days, or you can use it as like a base for a powder highlighter. I've used it always and really like it. I think on my cheeks here, I'm just gonna pat it with my finger first, and it has no glitter in it. Like when you swatch it, it almost looks matte, but it ain't. It's so gorgeous. Up a little bit around my eyebrows. I don't like to put it up there, but I kind of bring it up there with my finger so that it's a little lighter of an application. And then I'll go in with the brush here. If you can see, it's just a really nice, like it's natural, but it's not boring. It still has impact. If you can see that glow there. I am oily, however, so I can't just go to town with cream products. I'm going to set my under eye with the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder, a classic. I haven't actually really played around with this to set my whole face before. Let me know if you like it for that as well, but I do quite like it on the under eyes. And for the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. So this will add a little bit of coverage. I find it mattifying. You can use it on its own as a powder foundation, or like with a bigger fluffy brush to just kind of set your whole face. I'll show you the rest of my face routine. People putting on their face makeup is my favorite part of any video. I will gladly skip over the eyeshadow tutorial just to see people apply foundation, bronzer, blush, highlight. That's my favorite. Let me know what your favorite is if you're an eyes or face person. But I'm going to be using the Anastasia powder bronzer today in Rich Amber. I have really been liking this. This is my favorite bronzer brush right now. It's the MAC 140S. I mentioned this in a favorites video, I think. But I just really like how it comes up on the forehead. Bring it down to the cheeks, under the jaw. This is a really nice smooth bronzer, blends easily. It's a pretty true bronzer, like it's quite warm, but it just adds a little warmth and dimension back to the face. And I'm gonna bring out a little Kevin. We haven't played with Kevin in a while, but I do actually wear it a ton. So if this is kind of my current foundation routine, kind of the look that I wear a lot for my skin, I absolutely am reaching for Kevin to sculpt this face. The Kevin Aqua sculpting powder, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. And I've talked about this before, but I have dropped this powder and repurchased it, and people were like, why didn't you just put alcohol in it? Like, why would you buy a $60 powder again? Of course I tried that, but it just lost all of its integrity when I did that. So had to repurchase it, but it's just the most beautiful sculpting powder. It's so easy. It looks like actual sculpted face when you use it, blends so well. Using it on the NARS Ita brush, which I do like a lot. For blush, I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals Gen Nude blush in That Peach though. They have gorgeous blush shades. If you're looking for like peachy, nudie, just like really wearable but beautiful blush shades, this line is really nice. And if you can see, there's still glow on my face, right? Like I've said it, but that Makeup Forever highlighter is totally coming through. For highlighter today, breaking out a classic. It is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. It has like no swirls left in it. I love this. I love it so much. I think it's such a great highlighter. And it's pretty glowy and it's pretty intense, but I don't find it too bad for texture because it doesn't have any actual shimmer in there. It's just a really kind of wet looking glow. Gel these puppies up. I've talked about it before, but I don't like to gel my brows until after my face makeup is done because I just find that I don't want to have to worry about like avoiding my brows while I'm bronzing and highlighting and stuff. So I just kind of go to town and then I'll clean up with this brow gel, which is my favorite ever, the Benefit Brow Setter. So I'm gonna set this all now before I do my mascara. It is the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. I find this is one of the best setting sprays out there. It definitely helps keep my makeup more vibrant, keeps everything in place. It's not necessarily mattifying, but I'm gonna set my face with this, then I'm gonna do mascara, and then I'm gonna come back in and powder my face again. Good for oily skin. So I'm gonna go do my mascara and I'll be right back. Now that the setting spray has kind of set on my face, I do not recommend doing this right after because your face will be kind of wet. I like to go in with a bit of a mattifying powder, and I find that that really helps keep things more matte throughout the day. So I'm using the CoverGirl Outlast today. You can use a translucent powder, and it may look a little bit powdery at first. I just kind of go in the center of my face, and around my nose is where it gets really oily. And it just kind of adds an extra layer because I think like things can get, I have like a glowy highlighter, things can get a little bit too dewy after I've set my face with a setting spray. So I just like to go back in and reinforce things. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my routine. If you'd like to learn more about the EOS Crystal Lip Balm, I will have a link down below. And if you'd like to pick one up for yourself, you can find it at Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, Rexall, London Drugs, all that good stuff. So that will all be linked down below. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I messed up the order. Instagram. I forgot. Facebook. How did I forget the end of my videos? If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, @SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!